Hey, you guys. Shh, shh, go back to sleep. Shh, shh, shh. I've got Mark Jr. right here. It was past his nap time. He didn't want to go to sleep. But I wanted to come on here and have a story time as well as sort of a get ready with me. I'm twisting my hair up so it can be easier for me. But as you can see from the title, yes, I'm pregnant with twins. And I wanted to let you guys know how I found out and kind of like what led up to me finding out. There were some clues now that I look back on it that I could have figured I was carrying multiples. So on Monday, today is Friday, but on Monday I'll be 10 weeks pregnant. And I found out I was pregnant I knew I was pregnant for like 2 months, but we had the first ultrasound and I found out there was twins about 2 weeks ago. So like leading up to that, my life is a little hard just because I'm in grad school, studying to be a nurse practitioner. So of course it's like time consuming, it's tiring. I have clinicals that I go to each week. I have to go to class also once a week, plus homework and all that crap. So life is hard. And I have a 7-month-old. Mark will be 8 months in just a couple days on the 19th. So yeah, life is hard. But I was so tired. Like, I'd wake up and like feel like that I didn't get any sleep. I could go right back to sleep, you guys. Like, I was so tired. And even Mark Sr., he thought I was acting kind of weird. Like, he would ask me if I still loved him because I guess I just wasn't showing him like very much attention or like affection, or maybe I was different. Like, he said I wasn't myself. But I was just like so tired, right? So that happened early on, just like pure exhaustion. And then also my milk supply dropped. And that's kind of like the first sign that I had when I was pregnant. We were trying to get pregnant, right? So it wasn't a shock that I was pregnant at all. Like, that's what we were trying for. And it took us like 1 month to get pregnant. And that's how it was with Mark Jr. also. But, what was I saying? Sorry, pregnancy brain is real. But I was just like always tired. And then so like the first sign was that my milk supply dropped. And then on top of that, like my nipples were super sore. And like I'd already been breastfeeding for, at that point, 6 months. Like, it didn't hurt anymore, right? For me, my nipples only hurt like the first couple days after giving birth, just getting used to breastfeeding. But after that, I was fine. So like my nipples were so sore, it was crazy. And I actually contemplated quitting breastfeeding because it would just like be so frustrating. And like Mark, he moves around, he has 2 teeth now, so it was like really painful. So that was the second sign. So first, I was like really tired. Second, my nipples were like really sore, and my milk supply dropped. Like before, I could probably pump like 6 to 8 ounces really easy, like in 10 minutes or so. But like when I first got pregnant, sometimes I wouldn't have any letdown. So that was kind of scary too, because Mark's only like 6 months. He still needs breast milk. So I was like, oh my gosh, what are we going to do? We don't want to do formula. So we started to try like different forms of milk. Yeah, but eventually my milk supply came back. Like now I can get about, I'd say like 4 to 6 ounces, which is pretty good. Before it was just a lot more, and I wouldn't even have to try. Like now I have to like actually try to eat oatmeal and all that crap. And then also another symptom that I had with this pregnancy that I didn't have with Mark was like this weird like abdominal sensation, almost like a stretching feeling. It's like really weird. Like, and I didn't have that with Mark. It's almost like something was like crawling across my stomach and like you could feel the muscles stretching. It was really weird. So, like, but when all of these things were happening, it didn't really cross my mind. I'm just like, okay, I'm tired because I have so much going on in my life, you know. But now that I look back on it, like, I was like really tired, and like moody, and that's not me at all. And then, so I have Kaiser insurance, so finally came around. They won't even see you until I think you're about 8 weeks. But like, I knew I was pregnant. I knew what to do. I was taking my prenatals no matter what. So fine. Like, my life is busy enough. I don't need to go into the hospital to confirm that I'm pregnant. Like, you either are or you aren't. So I had my appointment 2 weeks ago. I go in, everything's fine. I've got Mark Jr. with me. Like, I'm like, this is the life of a new mom. So I get on the table. Mark is in his stroller in the doctor's office or whatever. And first she starts out with the abdominal ultrasound, because from like my app for tracking my period, it said that I should have been like 9 weeks, 5 days at that time. But when I went in for the appointment, she said that I was like 8 weeks, 4 days or something. It was like a week off. So she wasn't able to see a pregnancy with the abdominal scan, which kind of scared me, but I was like, okay, that's kind of normal. It's like after a certain point, you don't have to do the vaginal ultrasound anymore. So then I had to like undress. By this time, Mark was getting kind of fussy, so I had him like on my stomach while I was on the table, and she was like doing the vaginal ultrasound. So she's like doing the scan, and I see like one baby come up on the screen. I'm like, okay, fine. So then I stopped looking because I'm holding Mark on my stomach. And I'm like, you know, seen this before. Heartbeat is there, no problem. So like I stopped paying attention. I was like singing to Mark to keep him entertained. And then she says to me, don't be alarmed, but I think I see 2 babies. And I'm like, you're lying. Like, girl, don't play with my life like that. Like, I feel like I went to the store for 1 baby, like, and I'm coming back with 2. Like, I was expecting 1 baby. 2 babies are life-changing at one time. Like, Mark Jr. is enough work. Like, this kid has so much energy. He's super smart. He's all over the place. So I tell the tech, you're lying. Like, stop lying to me. Actually, she wasn't a tech. She was a midwife. So she was like, well, don't get like too excited. Let me go get the OB doctor, because sometimes like during an ultrasound you can have the reflection of 1 baby. So I'm like, okay, fine. So at this point, when she leaves the room, I'm like, Mark, you got to get back in your stroller, because this cannot be real. So I put him in a stroller, and I give him some paper to play with. So then the doctor comes back in, and she looks around. I'm like, okay. Yep, confirming twins. You got twins on the way. So all of a sudden, I get all sweaty. When I tell you that bed was like wet. That bed was like soaking wet. You know how they have that paper? So it was like sticking to my back and my butt with my legs in that stirred up. Like, it was so crazy just to hear them say you're having twins. Like, that was the furthest thing from my mind. And like my mother and I, we were joking that morning. I said, well, if I call you, it's because they told me I'm having twins and you got to come get me because I passed out on the floor. And I just said that like joking as I was leaving out from my appointment. But like, little did I know I was really carrying twins. And like once she said that, it just made so much sense. Like, I had like no energy. I still really don't have much energy, but I just like had lack of motivation, like, and it was just like so crazy, cause like I was doing fine, um, before that, you know. So I don't know. It was just like an overwhelming thing, and then what made it even like worse was that Mark Senior's birthday was that Tuesday. So I found out on Thursday. And so I'll post the picture too of me surprising him. Well, not the picture, the video of letting him know that we're having twins. Or maybe I'll attach it to this. I don't know yet. But for his birthday, like, I just was so tired. Like, I feel like I couldn't really plan. I didn't really feel like myself. You know, like, we had plans to go out for dinner, but Mark Jr. ended up falling asleep, and we ended up not going out. We went out that Thursday to, like, celebrate his birthday, and then since we found out that we were having twins, you know. But, like, I just felt so bad because it's not like me not to acknowledge somebody's birthday, or, like, you know, especially because Mark is so good to me. But yeah, all that happened, and like once they said that, it just made sense. And it's just like so crazy. Like, life is forever changed. But I'm excited. I'm definitely blessed that I have family around that can help, because it's not going to be easy. Luckily though, I'll be graduating when the babies, like the month the baby, well, okay, so with twins, they say babies, they always come early. So I'm due June 17th. But that due date is based on a singleton. So maybe like May 20th. I don't know. I say May 20th because that's my birthday. But like, I just don't want them to come too early, because you know that's like a whole nother set of risk and issues, and like I don't want to see my babies in the NICU or anything. Like, I just want them to come home, be healthy. I don't want to have any issues. With Mark, we did have a home birth, and like I always wanted a home birth. We didn't have a planned home birth, but like I just knew I wanted to be natural. Even though I'm a nurse, I don't really care for medicine too much, you know. I feel like they do, humans, a lot of humans wrong with some of the things that they do, especially like dealing with labor and delivery. But like ultimately, Black women are at such a higher risk for emergency C-section, for infant death. And I just think, I don't know, like, yes, we're all human, our bodies work the same, but I just feel like they do African Americans an injustice in every area of healthcare, mental health, just like everything. Like, it's really crazy, and it all goes back to like slavery time. That could be a whole another video, you know. But like, we used to be experimented on without anesthesia for like cesarean sections. Like, that's crazy. And I believe it's one of the founding doctors from like Planned Parenthood, or like something like that. But like, he used to perform obstetric procedures on enslaved women without anesthesia. Like, how crazy is that? And he would have like some of the other slave women hold them down for the procedure. Like, it's just ridiculous. And not to mention the Tuskegee experiment, where they were testing syphilis on Black men. So it's just like stuff like that. But like, with this birth, we are gonna go into the hospital, I think. Like, I want a home birth, but then it's just 2 babies. Like, maybe with time, after going to the appointments and everything, I'll feel more comfortable once I know that everything is fine. Like, they can confirm that I don't have placenta previa, or, like any issues, no birth defects. Like, I pray to God, like, we don't have any of those issues. But, like, I want to go natural again. And so, like, I'm kind of nervous. Like, I already had a dream that I was in the hospital and I gave birth, and it was just like a miserable experience because they're trying to get me to stay in bed. They're trying to put IVs in me and all that ridiculousness, when we all know that it's best to be up and active during labor. Like, when I tell you I had such an easy labor with Mark Jr., like, I didn't even have to push him out. He came out on his own. Like, my body did it for me. My water broke about 30 seconds before he came out. Like, it was just fine. Like, half the stuff they do for these babies, just not necessary. So, but, like, I don't want to have to push on my back. I'm probably going to be, like, the worst patient in there. It's like, they're going to be so upset with me because I'm not getting on my back. Like, y'all going to have to get on a stool or use a mirror to see what's going on, because the proper birthing position is not on your back. Like, whoever made up that lie is tripping. Straight up tripping. Like, it's more convenient for the doctor. They can see what's going on. But when I had Mark, I was, like, knelt down on the floor. I had, like, one knee bent. Like, how can I explain? You know how, like, okay, when you play a sport and somebody gets hurt, you take one knee? Like, that's the kind of the position that I was in. And he came out just fine. Like, atomically, your body's not meant to push a baby out on your back. Like, let gravity help. But yeah, I gotta make a birth story too on how Mark came out. It was really nice. So yeah, we're pregnant with twins. Pretty excited. Mark Sr.'s family, I think he said that he has like a couple of cousins that are twins. And like in my immediate family, we don't really have any twins. My mother did say that one of her uncles was born a twin, but she can't remember like how long the twin lived. So I guess he like passed away after, like, I don't know if it were days or like what, back then. Who knows? But like besides that, we don't really have twins in our family, so it was definitely a shock. Like, everybody is still in shock. Like, Mark and I, we just call each other randomly and we're like, can you believe we're having twins? Because it was just so unexpected. Super unexpected. Like, just mind-boggling. I'm excited. I'm nervous about the work that it may take. But most of all, I just want to have a healthy pregnancy. Like, it's already hard. Like, I'm out of breath already. Do y'all hear this? So, we'll see. And I have the stress of school. So, when you're in nurse practitioner school, you have to get clinical hours. And so, I have to make sure that I complete a total of 540 hours by, like, May. I'm not sure exactly what day, but we graduate sometime in May. So, like, if the babies are due in May, like, I just need to be proactive and make sure, like, I just get as many hours early on as possible. So, and then I'm also working on, like, my senior project or whatever. Like, you have to do an experiment. Well, I'm choosing to do like a survey or an experiment, and you have to like write a paper. It's almost like a dissertation. Like, this is just a master's program, but they're doing too much. It's like PhD type stuff. So yeah, so that's pretty much how we found out. We were really excited. I filmed Mark's reaction, and he was like super surprised. So I'll have to link that in there. I'm sure I'm going to get a bunch of questions on, oh, do you know what you're having? No, because we never find out what we're having. So it's going to be really exciting. Right now we have 2 boys. Mark has an older son who is 19. So Mark makes boys. We know that for sure. We have 2 boys. I'm hoping for 2 girls. But I have a feeling that we're having identical boys. Like, thank God that I don't have, like, I have morning sickness, but I haven't thrown up. Like, I just get sick to my stomach. And then sometimes when I'm brushing my teeth, like, if I scrub the tongue a little too hard, a little too far back, I gag. This morning, that was really bad. But, like, the midwife, she was really surprised. She was like, you haven't been throwing up, because usually when you have multiples, you get really sick. And I'm just like, with each pregnancy, I pray to God, like, Lord, please don't give me morning sickness, because I know some women just have it really bad, like, where they can't keep anything down, where they gotta get, like, IV fluids and stuff. So, like, thank God, like, I get nauseous, but I don't throw up, and I can kind of work through it. Like, as long as I don't have an empty stomach, then I'm okay for the most part. So, but it could be a lot worse. Definitely could be a lot worse. I just thank God that he's, like, taking care of me, like, no joke. Even with my first pregnancy, I worked 2 days up until giving birth. And so it was just perfect. Like, God really takes care of you, and if you just ask him to do whatever, like, I notice that he answers my prayers. And I'm not even, like, worthy of all the mercy and grace that he gives me. And my mom brought to my remembrance, I told her, like, when I found out I was pregnant with Mark and found out that it was just a singleton, I told her, oh, but I wouldn't mind having twins. So when I called her and told her that I was having twins, she was like, see, God answers your prayers. You better be careful what you ask for. And that's the truth, because I didn't even remember asking for twins. Totally forgot about it. This little guy is enough. When I tell you enough, like, after having him, I haven't said I want twins since, okay? Because he still doesn't sleep through the night. He's into everything. He's crawling. Like, this boy still wants breast milk like he's a newborn. When I tell you he will wake up 3 to 4 times a night trying to eating, like, Negro, you're gonna be 8 months. Like, shouldn't you be sleeping longer? Like, no. And, like, that's why I had to put him in this pouch, because if I laid him down to take a nap, that Negro would be up after 30 minutes. But in here, like, he'll sleep at least an hour. Like, and I guess he got my sleeping habits because I'm just, like, such a light sleeper. Such a light sleeper. Where I wake up from somebody walking into the room. Like, even if they don't say or do anything, like, I just have, like, I'm not just, like, all the way asleep. I don't know, like, it's weird. But I'm just, like, a really light sleeper, and I can hear any and everything. And that's how he is. Like, he'll pop his little head up, like, where you going? So, that's the only complaint I have, really, is that he doesn't sleep that well. And Mark Sr. is like, well, why don't you let me break him? And I feel like, first of all, he's a kid, not a horse. He can't be broken, necessarily. Like, and I think in time, he'll sleep on his own. But we've tried white noise. We've tried sleeping sacks, all kind of stuff. But, like, I guess I spoiled him also because we co-sleep. And so, like, that's just how he sleeps best. Like, he has to feel warmth and, you know, makes it hard. So with the next, I know what not to do, that's for sure. try to get both of them their own little bassinet, or I guess maybe when they're like super young, they can share a bassinet. I don't know, but yeah. So I think I've rambled enough. I'll come back with my final look when I'm done. Y'all can see my hair is like thirsty, honey, thirsty. And I've kind of neglected it. Like, when you have a kid, it's just already so hard. And then being natural is very time consuming. So I'm just like trying to put these braids in and keep them in for a couple weeks or months. I don't know. But yeah. All right. I'll come back when I'm closer to being done.
You and you're stuck with us laughing at your kids. Oh. Love you, Mark. Happy belated birthday. All I know is that our family is growing. Perhaps it's a girl or maybe a boy. I hope you're ready for this. I am ready for this.
You ready? Okay, open your gift.
Ooh. A little ducky. A little ducky.
You got 2 ducks. There's something on the bottom.
2 duckies?
Mm-hmm. What's it say?
Oh my God! Are you serious? Oh my God! Oh, oh, baby! Oh my God! Oh, oh my God! Are you serious?
I told the lady you're lying. I
What?
said, stop lying to me.